Hello, Duncan. Because intros are hard.
Oh, you want an intro?
Not really.
Okay.
It's really hard to start a podcast when you've been talking to me for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we're hitting record.
On the way here, I was like, I'm going to just dry open with this. You ever think about the fact that there is probably someone in the world who has a tramp stamp that's upside down that reads this side up?
I've never thought about it.
That was that from the moment I stepped out of my apartment door, because for some reason there was just a whole bunch of someone's moving in the apartment, and I just saw a bunch of boxes, and I was like, you think someone's got a tramp stamp?
I'm sure someone does.
Just a big arrow pointing up at the starfish.
Maybe.
I'm just the entire while there. I was like, I wouldn't like to meet this person. I'd like to be in the same room on the other side of the room as this person.
You just want to
socially interact, just to know and judge this person.
You just want to know they exist.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to see what they do, just so I can just see what they do, like getting coffee.
So that kind of lines up with something. When I die, I want there to be a stat screen. That's what I want, really badly. Of like, here's everything you did. But along with that, I want it to be like, hey, did you know on this day, January 18th, 2014, you were in the same room as, I don't know, Danny DeVito, but you didn't know it at the time because your back was to him. Give me that.
Just obscure facts?
Yep. Give me obscure facts. Give me a did you know gaming on my life.
Here are all the things you missed out on in your life.
That's what I want.
Yeah. You ever watch a dog get hit by a car?
No. Other than in a movie, which they usually cut to black.
Yeah.
Hard cut on that.
I didn't see it, but I heard it, and I can say it's the sound of a black lab hitting a very slow-moving car as its owner is trying to get it out of the car without a collar or leash on. Which, first of all, bad on her for not having a collar on and a leash on that dog as she's trying to get the dog out of the car, which she should have done it on the other side of the road.
Oh, you're saying she was parked on the side of the street?
She was parked on the side of the street. She was trying to get the dog out of the car door that was on the street, not on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And there was this very slow-moving Mercedes moving through the neighborhood. And I was just like, nothing bad's going to happen here. I'm walking along with my daughter. Next thing you know, I hear a yelp and just the sound of just like mashing against plastic and metal. And this dog comes running away. So obviously not that bad up. Whether the dog has internal bleeding, I don't know.
I mean, I've had animals get hit by a car and live.
Yeah.
I obviously don't have it. I have no access to it because it's at my mom's house somewhere. There's a picture of me holding my cat who had been hit by a car. Not in a like, oh my god, this is the final moments with my cat. It's more like, look at this dumb idiot who got hit by a car because it ran into a moving vehicle. Like,
oh,
it basically, the car was moving in front of it and it tackled a moving vehicle and it just tore its face off, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't so bad, and then you're just like tore its face off. I'm like, oh!
Had to keep that cat in the basement for a while because it was gross.
Or you could take it to a vet?
My parents didn't really believe in vets.
Oh.
They're more like, if you make it through this, we'll keep you.
Jesus.
I mean, my dad's a psychopath, and my mom grew up on a farm. They weren't going to a vet.
Yeah.
If you made it through, you stuck around.
Did I ever tell you the story about my dad finding a skunk with a pickle jar stuck on its head?
I don't think so.
Okay. My father is from rural Bathurst, just outside of the Indian or the Native American reserve there,
mm-hmm.
and So they did back in the day. They did a lot of pelt trading, as you do. Before the war, like this was like.
Okay, you're describing a time before your father.
No, my dad would have been a kid.
That seems a little. Like I've met your dad. Yeah. He's not 500 years old.
No, but I mean, it basically we're talking about if there's the sticks, we're talking about the twigs. Like this is way out country. Mm-hmm. People's main source of food at the time would have been driving maybe 2 hours to a grocery store or going out and hunting. Mm. And usually hunting and trapping was kind of the main farming. That was the main kind of go-to. Anyway, my dad goes out to the garage where they keep their garage. There's a pickle jar. And this skunk's got his head stuck in the jar. And my dad doesn't want to get close because he doesn't want to get sprayed. So he goes and tells my grandfather, who brings out his shotgun and goes, "Have you ever seen jar shot off a skunk's head before?" And then proceeds to just turn the head of the skunk into red mist, and the jar is shattered. And yeah.
So really, this was just a fun way to say, ever tell you the time about my dad killing a skunk?
Not my dad, my grandfather. Okay. Just massacring a skunk.
I pretty recently had a pro-hunting conversation, so whatever. It doesn't bother me.
I mean, chances are the skunk wouldn't have gotten its head stuck. If it got it stuck in there, it wasn't going to get it out, and it was probably going to suffocate and die. So...
I mean, even if the skunk might have got out, it's on your property. If you want to kill it, that's on you. I don't really care.
Rural New Brunswick in the early part of the 19th, 20th century? 19th?
Sure.
I don't know. It was sometime a little after World War II, maybe the Korean War, maybe in the 60s. New Brunswick was a weird time.
That's a huge amount of time to be like, it might have been turn of the century. It might have been during NAM. I don't really know.
I only have secondhand information from my father, who kind of...
It might have been a skunk. It may have been a Vietnamese tourist. I don't know. There's a lot left out of the story.
No Vietnamese tourist is gonna be up in the north ass end of nowhere, New Brunswick.
You never know.
No.
I mean, that's where if I went on vacation, I'd rather go somewhere like that. I don't want a vacation to a big city. That's give me more anxiety on my vacation.
Well, that and the North Shore of New Brunswick has some of the nicest beaches.
Yeah, they're cold though.
No. During the summer?
Well, yeah, during the summer, but...
Well, when are you going to go? You're not going to want to go to Bathurst in the winter?
I'm not going to want to go to Bathurst at all.
No, that's true. Campbellton, you're not going to want to go during the winter.
Who wants to go to a city where they can't speak 2 languages properly?
Bathurst?
They ruin English and French.
Oh, Christ. It is a treat going there.
Sure, I drove through it once. That's about it.
Not a lot there.
Probably not.
At one time, it was kind of when the coal mines were big. There was a lot going on, but I mean, they don't even have they might have a mom and pop bookstore, but they don't have any of the Kohl's, and it was kind of telling. But
nothing like dead skunks and small towns to tell the people that it's E3, Duncan.
Is it? I thought it's over.
Well, yeah.
Isn't this this isn't during? This is post E3.
Well, it's technically the floor shows are going on still.
Okay, the floor shows.
On-hand demos and stuff happening, but the conferences are over.
Yeah.
and I thought about that this morning. This is the only date, maybe not to the day exactly, but this is the only week that consistently every year we have recorded.
Yeah.
And I actually asked you here, unrelated to E3 entirely, but we should probably talk about it.
Okay.
I guess.
If it's our obligation to talk about it, sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Okay.
But I feel like...
I was going to say, because I only really watched parts of Microsoft, the parts of a few of... I think I watched all of Square Enix, and then all of Nintendo. And then maybe...
Okay, well, you only missed some of... You would have missed some of Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft.
I think I watched a quick 15-minute video on
Devolver.
Bethesda. I didn't watch Devolver.
Devolver's conference was over 12 hours.
What?
It went places.
Oh!
It turned into a wrestling match.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I still haven't gone back and watched the whole thing. I watched the actual, like, what most people thought was the conference.
Yeah.
But then it cut away and people thought it was over. No. It was really just beginning. There was a man in full green suit, with boxer shorts, playing a game called, like, The Age of Cricket, while someone did a really bad cover of Feel Good Inc. in the background. It was... And then it just turned into a wrestling stage show where they had a ring.
That's amazing!
It was great.
Oh my god. Devolver Digital does it again.
Takeaway. Good. Give me a good, bad, okay, amazing report card for the year.
I can't really give a report card if I only saw bits and pieces.
Well, of what you saw.
I can't really give a good grade to anything because
No, I'm not saying tell me best of show.
Oh.
Just how, of what you saw, were you like, that's pretty good? Or, nah, didn't see anything?
I mean, pretty good overall. The standout things were obviously Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves, Nintendo, I think, had a pretty strong showing. There were some, like, by the time they showed off Dragon Quest Builders for the second time, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly...
I think... I mean, the direct format is a solid format.
Yeah.
I like the stage show, personally.
Yeah.
Because...
You like the spectacle.
Because I get really big on, like, audience hype.
Yeah.
Audience
hype. Do you remember that one guy in Bethesda? He's like, woo!
That's fake hype. That's fake hype.
Like, it felt... His reactions felt so disingenuous.
Well, yeah, he admitted that he just...
Oh, he admitted?
He's just a super fan.
Oh.
Like, he didn't care what they said. He was going to cheer.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that.
Also, Todd Howard coming out and being like, so, we knew the game was going to be shit. Fuck you, Todd. Maybe don't ship a broken game.
Well, because that's a different story. I think it's fine to ship a game that you know that isn't going to be good, to get it out, to use feedback, to make it better. I'm not against that format, but that's kind of what, like, an open beta is for.
Yeah.
Or what is it, like Steam Greenlight? Like, that's what that is for. Do not ship a full-priced product.
Expecting players to be
that.
The quest givers and just no content.
But hey, it looks like they're turning it around, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. You made a game.
Well, apparently it still plays badly.
Oh. Well, I mean,
the shooting is bad and there's no VATS.
All Bethesda games are bad. Like,
but, to anyone who likes Fallout, it looks like it's getting better. It's still like...
Was there any Elder Scrolls 6?
Okay, so this is one of my beefs with Bethesda specifically, is they by name mentioned Elder Scrolls 6
okay.
and Starfield.
Okay.
But didn't show them.
They didn't show them?
They just said, we're working on games like Starfield, pause for applause, and Elder Scrolls 6, pause for applause. But how about we talk about Fallout 76?
Oh my god.
I think if you have nothing new to show for a game, do not mention it on stage. Period. I don't care if you don't show a game. There was a ton of things that was not shown this year that we know exist. Don't mention them.
Okay, so I think Bethesda might have had the weakest of all the conferences.
Yes.
But that's just because I only saw parts of it, and I'm going off of the information you are currently giving me.
I actually didn't watch EA's. I was told it was quite poor, but people are also a little biased towards EA. Their show might have been fine. Just because the games didn't interest you didn't mean it was a bad show.
Yeah. Square Enix, I felt like they had their two big set pieces, Final Fantasy VII and Marvel, and then everything in between was just kind of meh.
There was some moments.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think they should have ended with 7 because I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that
would have been a lot stronger.
Well, it's not that Avengers looks bad.
Captain America looks
and
like
it's
he put
not
on some pounds.
And it's not that everything in the middle looked bad. It's just 7 looks so good that you should have closed with it.
No, definitely. I am definitely of the opinion if you're gonna end a show, go out on just blow your load.
Well, I get it. I mean, tis the superhero season. It made sense to close on Marvel.
I think it would have made more sense to start with Marvel. Like, just get that out of the way.
Yeah. Well, no.
Because everyone there...
No, I get it. They wanted the pop because we've seen 7. We haven't seen Avengers.
But most of the people there at that Square Enix conference weren't there for any other game other than 7. That conference could have just been their Final Fantasy VII thing and then just end. And everyone would have left that conference, that theater happy.
Yeah.
Microsoft, really the only thing I saw out of that was Cyberpunk 2077 and Keanu Reeves coming out and then just everyone collectively wanting him to spit in their mouths.
So I wrote down every single announcement from every single conference.
Okay.
Why
didn't we start with that?
Well, because
rather than me just kind of hacking away at things.
I'd much rather see what you have to say about the few things you've seen.
Okay. Then Nintendo's conference, I enjoyed immensely. There were a few kind of parts where I was like, I'm not interested in this, but I mean that Platinum Police Academy stand
Astral
Chains game looks amazing. Showed more Daemon Ex Machina, amazing. The banjo reveal got me so hyped for a game that I don't even play because just the idea that now that Microsoft and Nintendo are working together, maybe we could get some of the old Rare games back.
No, that won't happen.
That won't happen, but in my heart of hearts, I hope it's true.
See, I would have liked the banjo reveal if Xbox didn't ruin it.
How?
Well, on their official Xbox schedule, where they were like, here's when our conference is, here's where we're demoing this game on this stage, everything Xbox, they listed the Nintendo Direct. Dad told me they were adding something to Smash.
Okay.
And of course it would be Banjo. Who else was it gonna be?
Conker?
No. It was gonna be Banjo.
It was gonna be Banjo, but I mean, they got Conker. Anyway, the idea that Nintendo's already got a sequel to Breath of the Wild coming in the pipeline.
Okay, I gotta talk about that.
Okay.
We'll put a pin in that.
Okay.
We'll end with that because that was technically the last game of all of E3.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that because I got opinions.
Oh, okay.
I got opinions.
They're not good, are they?
Maybe. Okay. I don't know. So I'm not going to talk about everything that Xbox they showed because there's no point. Just the standouts. So they showed. Did you see the new Star Wars?
Yes.
That looks okay. I'm not as excited as I want to be for a single player Star Wars game.
I'm actually interested in it.
It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It's just not.
It's not a Battlefront game, and I'm kind of like, oh, this actually looks like it has some character, some story. The one thing I don't like is that you're just like, I get it. Like, I don't understand how Jedi can just unprovoked attack people.
Well,
because there are stormtroopers who are just minding their own business. You'd think that a Jedi who, like, you don't want to.
I think it comes back to like
maybe
stormtroopers are bad guys, so you gotta kill them.
But here's the thing: having played games like the Old Republic, where you can you play as not just a Sith, you play as bounty hunters, you play as Imperial officers, you play as, and you go into like the Imperial homeworld, and you kind of see that these troopers are people too. It kind of feels like the Jedi kind of mantra I think taken very liberally.
I think that's one of those video game things.
Yeah,
I think people don't want a Jedi game where you're diplomatic.
Well, I mean, not so much diplomatic, but I mean, could you not, like, he has all these powers. He's grabbing, these stormtroopers are shooting at him. He grabs the stormtrooper, positions him in front of him to shoot him with his own bullet or laser beam, and it's just like, that seems not Jedi-like.
You gotta.
That seems more Sith-like.
You gotta deal with that. Video games.
I think if you want to be a Jedi, you just don't unprovoked kill people.
Well, see, the game already has an identity crisis, and that really just falls in line with it. One, it takes place in. This might be just a me thing. It takes place pre-episode 7, which means I do not care. 1 through 6 is done. Move on. 7 and forward now. Expand. We can go horizontally from 7.
Yeah. But anything prior
to 7, we're done. Stop it. Putting in, what's his name? Saw Gerrera from Rogue One? Who cares?
Who?
The guy he talks to? Did you see the gameplay demo?
I didn't see Rogue One.
Okay, well, one of the worst characters from that movie is like a star in the game.
Okay.
So that tells me roughly where it's planted because, well, spoilers, he dies. Everyone dies in Rogue One. So I know it's earlier.
Okay.
2, they talk about, there's a line in the game where they're like, oh, the Jedi are no more and like they don't exist, but this takes place firmly when Luke was at his heyday.
Yeah, but I mean, not
around the same galaxy, in the same star system that Luke would have been in, because it takes place around where Saw Gerrera was.
But how many people would have known that there is a single Jedi operating in a
If you're a big guy in the rebellion, he probably would know.
Yeah, but I mean the common person or the Imperial.
Yeah, but it's the guy who's like the head of the rebellion who says it.
Is he? Okay.
Well, he's not the head, but he's like a big guy in the rebellion because we've met him in Rogue One. We know his character.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me. The game actually looks fun.
Yeah.
But because it's in a timeline I don't care about, I just don't really care about it.
Okay.
Showed a Blair Witch game. That looks fun.
That's weird.
I like spooky things.
Blair Witch has been out of the cultural zeitgeist for so long.
I mean, there was a movie 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was a sequel. Yeah. Flopped. Did terribly.
Oh, yeah, go figure. It flopped because nobody cares.
The The game looks more interesting than the movie did.
Oh.
I'll give it that.
Okay. Well, I mean, Walking Simulator.
Uh,
How many of those get pumped out a day on Steam?
True. Then we had Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I still don't know how I feel about it. Looks...
I think there needs to be more cyberization. Like, I think these people are still too squishy. I want to see full cyberization.
Well, okay, so I do agree with someone... So the box art came out, and there's like the main character guy.
Yeah, of course, the guy.
On the box, and everyone...
Can't have girls on boxes.
Well, it's not even that can't have girls. It's like... The year is 2077, and everyone is robots, and the best thing you could make for your main character was bland white guy.
Yep.
He doesn't look remotely cybernetic. He looks as bland as possible, and you put him on the front. Put Johnny Ironhands or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Be way better cover.
Yeah.
Everyone would love that. But either way, game looks good. I don't know if I'll touch it.
But I'm definitely going. Like, ever since Ghost in a Shell came out, I've been craving more of that universe. The PS2 game I beat in like 4 or 5 hours. I know they have like a free-to-play game on Steam that I've never touched because it's like
free-to-play.
It's free-to-play and just the microtransactions are oppressive and blah 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 blah. And the movies have been great. The standalone complex series has been great. Like, I love everything about that. And the more cyberpunk stuff, like, cyberpunk games come out, and I just try my best to find them, but they usually never do well and never stay stock.
So it's your niche.
Yes, it's the one. Like, if I could just like replace my entire disgusting fleshy body with just metal and circuitry and just encapsulate my and just brain and just live forever as a cyborg, that would be amazing.
Nope.
Yes.
Best art in show for me is a game that most people missed.
Chris Tales?
No. RPG Time: The Legend of Wright. That game looks super weird, and I dig it.
Okay.
Do you remember the game? Whew. I don't remember what it was called. It was free to play, and it was the first game by the Steve Bartlett Detective Agency, the studio that David Jaffe made after he left PlayStation. Which is a lot of weird things to remember, except for the game's name.
No, I'm drawing a blank.
It's gonna kill me. Steve Bartlett Detective Agency. I don't even remember if that is actually the name of the studio. I should just look up David Jaffe. That would make more sense. David Jaffe.
Wasn't there a game? Was it like I can't. Now I can't. I don't know.
Yes.
Buns did a...
Oh, I was wrong.
Oh.
It's not the Steve Bartlett. It's the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency. They did that game Drawn to Death, if you remember that.
Oh,
so, RPG Time looks like Drawn to Death, but actually done well. Now it's actually not remotely gameplay-wise the same at all.
Okay.
But it's got like the Notebook style. It's very cool. I think it looks neat.
Because I despised Drawn to Death.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
You should despise it. Was painful to look at. Kudos for them to going for it, but I could not look at it without needing like an Advil or Tylenol. It was a lot of things going on. It was very noisy. Like, it was just a lot to look at and not my aesthetic.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'll show you the trailer later because I thought it looked neat. Microsoft talked about the Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month.
Just gouging us for games.
So that gives you Xbox Game Pass on Xbox and PC.
Okay.
Game Pass is a pretty decent service that not that many people use, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Which is why they are constantly mentioning it.
I know Jim Sterling is a big kind of advocate for it because I think he had it played 2 games and was like, "No, this is totally worth it."
Yeah, no, it's a great service. Just the amount they talk about it tells me not that many people are signed up for it.
Yeah.
Because when was the last time you heard PlayStation on stage mention like PlayStation Plus? Because it's not most. It's like 60%.
No,
but that's
if you
a lot.
want to do anything on a PlayStation,
That's true.
You
That's
need
true.
PlayStation Plus.
Okay, I should actually switch that. When was the last time they mentioned PlayStation Now, which is their equivalent service?
When was the last time they mentioned that you could share gameplay with the share button? Like, not since the inception of...
Probably not. Xbox Double Fine. So now Tim Schafer has another boss to hate him.
Now Tim Schafer has, project managers and people to keep him on track, so maybe they'll actually put out more games.
So not that I remotely care about Psychonauts 2. This angered me because I think it was like a Kickstarter or Fig. It was one of those types of games as far as I remember.
Yeah.
And Xbox bought them. So there goes all the promised platforms.
Oh, shit.
However, in the days between the conference and now, they admitted, no, like this game will still come to everything that was promised. So good on you, Double Fine. I guess more good on you, Microsoft, for letting them do that.
Yeah. What was it? There was another... Okay, well, we're just going to... instead of derailing, we're going to stick.
No, derail.
No,
Go.
okay.
Go.
Wasn't there a game, like, recently this week that was like, we're going to the Epic Store exclusively, and it was a Kickstarter game, or it was a funded game?
The biggest one I know of, it going to Epic Store exclusively for PC. It's still on console. Yeah. That's Shenmue 3.
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, that get a lot of hate for that.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
And I guess doing that is lawsuit worthy.
Oh.
Because it is in Kickstarter's contract that you have to be given a refund if people are not doing what you paid them to do, which is put a game on Steam.
Yeah. So that's a nightmare for whoever's making Shenmue.
They showed off that Dragon Ball Z game from last year a little bit better. Now it's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Terrible name. It is the beginning of Dragon Ball Z.
Again.
Yeah, so that's not great.
I mean, the Frieza part kind of looked cool, but I mean, that's really the only part.
It's just a story we've seen a billion times.
I mean, do something later, like Cell Saga.
Well, most of the Budokai games, they would do Saiyan Saga to the Buu Saga, usually. Yeah. Well, I guess that really is all of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. So, I hope they're doing the same. If it's just fleshing out the Saiyan and Frieza Saga, that's a slow game.
Or a not very long game.
Oh, right. They showed off the new Battletoads. Doesn't look
not
very good.
Interested.
Sure. Let's see. Finally showed gameplay of Gears Pop. The Pop Vinyl game.
My eyes are glazing over. Yes.
It's a mobile game.
Okay. Oh, it's a mobile game? Don't care.
Against all odds, Phantasy Star Online 2.
That's a weird...
Coming West.
Like...
After 7-8 years.
Yeah.
It's free.
Now, it's only coming to the Xbox, right?
From my understanding, yes. Probably PC as well. But nothing else. that could change. I get it
So-
at these stage shows. You want to keep quiet about what other
Yeah.
platforms it's on.
I'm confused. Why have an Xbox? Because it feels like anything that's on the Xbox is also on the PC.
Oh, no, it is.
So
But they understand the average gamer has a console, not a PC.
So by that definition, they have no exclusives.
No. Yeah, they have 0. That was something that started to come to light about a year or 2 ago.
Because they don't even have Super Lucky Tales anymore.
No,
Because
that's on the Switch.
That's on Switch, and I'm just kind of sitting here going like, what would be the reason I'd want?
Also,
to...
I think Xbox Game Pass is coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have nothing. They literally have nothing.
So I'm like, again, I also did this for PlayStation because I'm like, what games for PlayStation do I really want to play that aren't also going to be on the Switch? And I was like, well, Cyberpunk and Monster Hunter Iceborne. Those are really the 2 games that I'm looking forward
Well,
to.
and one thing you do when you're talking about big titles like that, and I guess to jump to the Nintendo conference for a second, is like when you get into like really big games like that, like The Witcher 3, that is also coming to Nintendo Switch. You're talking about a significantly diminished version of that game. That game is, even from the very brief trailer we saw, is almost a full generation behind graphically.
Yeah.
It is significantly reduced because it's a goddamn handheld. Of course it is.
Yeah.
So when it comes to big games like that, I don't want to play them on the Switch. I want to play the best version of it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess if I really want to play the best version, play it on PC.
With a monster.
But I'm a goddamn loser, so I'm going to play it on my PlayStation.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I just had this moment when I was watching the Nintendo Direct going like, why do I have a PlayStation? I was like, Monster Hunter?
Well, exclusives. That's why
Yeah.
you own a console.
And then I just kind of thought of this like, why do people have Xboxes? Because there's nothing for Xbox I want.
The thing they said would never happen, which is Halo on PC, they've
Has
announced
happened.
all of them will be on
Oh.
PC, including the new one.
Okay, so let's get back on track. We were on Microsoft still?
Yep.
Okay.
They showed off a new Tales game. I've never played any of them. This one looked neat.
It looked pretty.
Tales of Arise.
If you're only comparing it to Tales of games, it looks pretty.
I'll take that.
If you compare it to any other JRPG, it looks super anime and
Yes.
bad.
Elden Ring. That's the big
Elden
one for
Ring,
me.
Elden Ring.
That is the Miyazaki and George
Oh
R. R.
yes,
Martin.
yes, I watched the trailer for this. It was weird.
I would have liked to have seen more. Now,
Yeah.
traditionally, like Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, they've all been introduced with these like weird tell you nothing trailers.
Yeah.
So that was keeping in line with that. I still would have liked to have seen anything because Sekiro didn't do it for me. I have no interest in buying that game.
No, neither do
If I see it on like a really good sale, I'll probably pick it up. But Dark Souls, Bloodborne, those are all day ones for me. I love that series. So I hope this is more like those. Sekiro changed a little too much for me. And then the big news was the Project Scarlet.
That's their
The next
streaming
Xbox.
console?
No.
Oh,
They did not say it was a streaming console.
Okay.
But they didn't say it wasn't either. So it could be. Their exact claim was it is 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X.
Okay.
I don't believe that. They also said it will do 8K 120 FPS.
We can't even do 4K yet.
No, we can't. We can't do
We can't.
Game-
We don't
as
have
a
the
standard.
capabilities.
As a
Yeah.
standard, we haven't even hit 1080 60 across all games yet. That has never happened. We have never had one.
Give me a stable 60. Don't give me 60 FPS. That's all I want. You don't need to do all this crazy shit. I just want buttery smooth gameplay. it can look like dog shit. If the game is fun and it has buttery smooth just frames.
Well, and also, like, when you're talking about a console, 4K TVs have only really started.
Now.
Most people do not have a 4K TV.
I don't.
I consider myself a bit of a, like, when it comes to gaming, I'm that type of, like, tech nerd. I haven't cared to get a 4K TV yet.
When the PSVR came out, you accidentally bought 2.
I sure did.
And it was hilarious.
But, and then they showed off new Halo. Cool, is Halo. It didn't... The biggest takeaway from that is... So they announced the new console, then Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, also I should say, holiday 2020.
Of course.
It's probably when the PS5 will come out too.
Is there anything coming out this year?
Actually, take that back. PS5 will come out February 2021. Yeah. Is there anything coming out this year?
Because other than Iceborne, I was kind of like, there's nothing I really want.
I mean, someone made a handy-dandy list of everything coming out this year that I didn't save, so I don't have access to it.
Okay. I'm going to have to try and find it.
But yeah, then, so when you show a new console, and then you show a new game for that console,
yeah,
you want to be blown away.
Yeah.
It looked like a not even top-of-the-line current-gen game.
Now, is that because you're biased?
No, it just didn't... Like, it looked good, but I wasn't blown away. Like, when I saw... And this is going to sound biased because they're PlayStation exclusive, but The Last of Us 2, or Ghost of Tsushima, which they are PS4 games.
When's that coming out? Because yes, Ghost of Tsushima.
Those games looked amazing.
Yeah.
And Sony doubled down as recently as like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They are current gen games.
Okay.
Halo looked worse than them to me.
Maybe I'll have to go back.
Now, maybe it's because it's super early in development.
Yeah.
You know, and also they just didn't show off I'll give them benefit of the doubt too. They just didn't show off a great thing to show off how pretty the game is. It was kind of a dude in Master Chief in a room.
Oh.
Just didn't really show anything.
You want lush jungles or, like... Yeah, no, you gotta have something a little more vibrant than that.
Bethesda! Easily the worst conference of the show. Talked about Elder Scrolls Blades DLC. Which is their free Elder Scrolls game. It's coming to the Switch. Fallout 76 DLC. No one cares. They're adding a Battle Royale.
Ring of Fire? Yes. I think that's what it's called. Or that's just the song.
No, that was the song. It's called Nuclear Winter.
Okay, Nuclear Winter.
Elder Scrolls Online DLC.
Yeah.
Commander Keen mobile game.
Oh, yeah.
That surprised everyone, and it looked terrible.
Yeah, no.
They showed off some Wolfenstein stuff. Showed off a game called Deathloop. Interesting concept, but no gameplay, so I don't really know anything about it. Showed off Doom, which I still don't care about. I think people owe too.
I assumed it was out.
Nope. I think it comes out this year, though.
Okay.
So there's something that comes out this year. One of my game shows, Ghostwire Tokyo.
I don't understand.
It is the new game from
that
Tango Softworks. The people who did Evil Within.
Okay.
It's their new game. There you go. It looks neat. But then they showed off this thing called Orion, which I wrote down what they said about it. Orion optimizes game engines via the cloud, which...
could you hear my eyes rolling?
No, it gets worse. These are exact quotes. Okay, I can't say exact quotes. I'll say 80%. Because I'm writing these as they're saying them. 20% faster per frame.
What?
They're saying they can stream a frame faster. And they say it's so optimized that if everyone in your home is streaming, they're watching Netflix, they're playing games, you can stream perfectly from the cloud. Which is a bold-faced lie, because that's not how internet works. If the bandwidth is being used, you can't just take it from nothing.
Yeah.
That's not how things work. But that's what they're claiming this service does.
That all these developers and Google think that everyone has top of the line internet with no caps.
Well, even I guess technically what started off E3 was the Stadia.
Fuck, Google can take that.
All of North America falls under what they call the bare minimum requirement.
Yeah.
There's some 140p screenshots coming out from the Stadia from E3, and they're
Google.
That thing's gonna fail.
Google, I know you're listening. Get your shit together. This idea is stupid.
I think someone has to take the first step, but I think they could have just sat on it and be like, "We're not ready for this.
Yeah,
it's cool tech, great. It's just,
whatever.
We're not ready
to Google Visor or glasses.
Oh,
that died.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is gonna go the exact same way.
Then Devolver.
Is it still going?
No, it'd be over by now.
Oh. You could have just said, yes, it's probably still going in some capacity.
They showed off a game called the Devolver Bootleg, where you can play a bunch of bootleg versions of Devolver games, including Hotline Milwaukee.
Hotline Milwaukee.
The biggest takeaway from that is there's a game called Carry On, which they're calling a reverse horror game, where you play as the monster. Okay. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
That's one of my games to shows probably. Ubisoft, Watch Dogs 3.
I'm actually interested in this game.
I don't know, because what they showed off gave me the impression every time you die, you have to make a new character. Because it's all for the greater good. You're not playing as one
and I don't think it's
unkillable character.
You're not playing as, everybody. You're playing as a select group of people that have been cherry-picked by the developer, and then they'll just change, shaders and shit.
Yeah.
This whole you can play as anyone is, you can play as anyone, asterisk, that we deem...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's also not realistic to be you can recruit everyone. Realistically, if this was a real thing going on,
you wouldn't want
not every person you walk by is going to want to join the cause. That's not how things work. People have their own opinions. But it doesn't look terrible. Yeah. It didn't click for me. But
Granny just murking people. I don't know. I think the whole you're killing people. And if you're I get it. These people are authoritarians and Nazis and not good people, but does that really give you the right to go down to their level and kill them?
Yes. Also, games shouldn't be political. Says Dummies Online.
Now, do you want me to bring up the paragraph that Stan Lee wrote back in his day at Marvel? Do I have that saved?
No, mostly because maybe the audience wants to hear it, but I don't, because I just read an entire magazine about Stan Lee the other day.
Stan Lee's soapbox, right there.
But no, I disagree. Games should be political. Do whatever you want.
Taking great pains to point out that comics are supposed to be escapist reading and nothing more, but somehow I can't see it that way. It seems to me that a story without a message, however subliminal, is like a man without a soul.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are too dumb for messages, though, because they'll be like, oh, I like when Godzilla did the thing, not realizing Godzilla's about nuclear war and environmentalism, but big monster fights. Ubisoft doing the worst thing. They announced a TV series on stage.
What?
Yeah. And it wasn't even based off a Ubisoft property. It wasn't here, we're doing an Assassin's Creed show or something. Wrong place to announce it, but I'd give them a pass because it's of one of their properties.
Yeah.
Wasn't even of their property. It's from the creators of Always Sunny.
Okay.
Starring everyone's least favorite character from that show. I don't know his name because I've never seen it. It's not Charlie Day or Danny DeVito, so no one cares.
I was going to say, the only two that are coming to mind are Charlie Day and Danny DeVito.
It's the other guy.
The other guy.
Exactly. Mac.
Oh,
maybe?
the guy who was their bouncer.
I think so.
Was a Fight Juice.
Yeah, Fight Milk.
Or Crow.
It's Fight Milk.
Crow something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Mythic. No, yeah, it's called Mythic Quest.
Okay.
And it just looks dated. It's a whole show about like, hi gamers, I'm a game developer making games because gamers noobs. Am I right? It looked
that just
very bad.
That sounds like he's doing a parody of game developers or game publishers trying to.
No, there's ways to do it and make it not seem like it's 10 years too late.
Well, I mean, that's all publishers now. Like, publishers are so far.
This was more like, maybe it was just a bad commercial.
Yeah,
but the commercial was bad.
But I mean, that's kind of the joke. Maybe like publishers are so behind gamers in kind of the culture.
I don't think they're that clever. I know Always Sunny is like a super well renowned show.
Yeah,
I don't think they're that clever. I think they just missed. I think they were like, gaming's a big market. Let's make a show about gaming.
Okay.
If you really care about that stuff, watch Good Game by Game Grumps. And Jesse Cox, he helped write that show.
Oh,
yeah. I've only seen 2 episodes. It's not quite for me, but it's well made show.
But I mean, they're in the culture of gaming.
Don't touch things you're not a part of, maybe.
But that's not how the entertainment industry works. They're like, oh, that looks interesting. I bet we could make money off that.
No, I know.
And then it's like, hello, fellow children.
I know that's not how things work, but that's what I'm saying. Is like you shouldn't make a Marvel movie.
Oh, I peaked hard.
Yeah, you've done it a couple times. Because every time you're going to get loud, you lean directly into the microphone. So I know it's coming.
I don't know. It's just what our society does. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Let's try and make money off of it. And then
I get it.
People are so behind the times. It's like,
bad.
Who are you doing this for?
But
it's like Big Bang Theory. It's like you're trying to kind of pander to
Big Bang Theory
culture.
Got nerds more right than this did.
Oh.
At face value.
Oh.
From what I've seen. Because Big Bang Theory, well, a lot of times it's wrong. It does get the mentality right while getting the facts wrong.
Yeah.
This looks like it just got everything wrong. Because that
Warcraft episode can fuck off.
Well, yeah. Okay. See, actually, that's a prime example. They got the ideas of rating right, but all of the facts are wrong.
Yeah.
This looks like it just gets everything wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, not the place to talk about TV shows.
Okay.
So, poo on you, Ubisoft. Then they also announced a Division movie that's going straight to Netflix.
Okay, at this point, have they announced any games, or are they just
it was
switching gears completely?
Almost entirely DLC.
Okay.
Almost everything.
I forgot we talked about Watch Dogs. That I was like, Watch Dogs, and then just the rest of the conference, I was just like, la la.
Now, they ended their show with what might be my other game of show called Gods and Monsters. Think Greek myth Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
It looked very pretty, big open world, cool art style. I'm down. I'd like to see more.
I hate to say it, but I'm kind of getting sick of open world. But maybe that's just because I've been binging Breath of the Wild.
Well, yeah, obviously, like, you get sick of whatever you're currently playing.
But even that, like, Breath of the Wild is honestly such a slog for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I don't have this problem with The Witcher 3.
Well, because despite what critics and most fans would say, despite having only played one of these 2 games, which I've only played Breath of the Wild, Witcher 3 is a better made game. It knows how to pace itself. Where Breath of the Wild is just, here you go. It's really not much more to it than that.
Hmm.
Where The Witcher is like, come over here. Let's look at these things. And like, you can go do that too. Breath of the Wild is just, there you go.
It definitely feels like there's more stuff to do and there's more kind of like chains to follow. Whereas Breath of the Wild is just like, go!
So, yeah, basically screw talking about everything else. The new Pokemons look cool.
I'm worried about something they've said.
Oh, was it the thing they said that other games have done before?
No. They have possibly over 800 Pokemon at this point.
Well, what I want is for this game for them to hit 1,000.
That's not going to happen.
It's possible.
Because with the kind of Pokemon Home, you can bring all your Pokemon to Pokemon Home.
Mm-hmm.
However, not all your Pokemon in Pokemon Home will be able to come to Pokemon Sword.
From my understanding, Sun and Moon was the same thing.
You could, they just weren't in the Pokedex.
Okay.
In this one, however, if the Pokemon does not appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield, you cannot bring it into the game.
I guarantee you that will change.
I hope so.
With DLC, as the game and that'll be free. It's just something they're not targeting for launch, which they shouldn't.
I get it. Updating every Pokemon to the current generation, the poly count alone must be insane.
I mean, the game doesn't look that good.
No, but I mean, from Sun and Ultra Sun and Moon to...
it's a big jump.
And you kind of... Like, there's a lot of Pokemon that would probably look bizarre in 3D.
Probably. Well, I mean, they were 3D in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
It's just a little pixelated.
But, I mean, bumping up that poly count.
No, I get it. It's a lot of work.
I'm a little worried that this is kind of their way to kind of phase out Pokemon.
No, not remotely. It's called, there's 800 Pokemon. If you want this to come out this year, you're not getting all of them.
And that's essentially what I think the big argument is right now. But I'm worried that some of my favorite Pokemon that I've had since Red and Blue aren't going to be around.
Good. I sided with Pokemon in this one. Cut the umbilical cord. It's a new game. This should be treated as a sequel. You shouldn't be able to keep...
Well, it's not a sequel, though. It's a new Pokemon region.
Yeah. Name another game where you're like, I don't know. I can't think of a game with
a bunch
of sequels.
No other game has reached...
Okay, well, actually, here's a good example. Final Fantasy, because they're not sequels of each other. Final Fantasy 15, I didn't cry like a baby because I can't bring the chicken knife from Final Fantasy 5 into the game. No, it's a new game with new things. Yeah. Deal with it. And that's how I feel about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, but at this point, a lot of people are attached to the Pokemon they have.
I don't care.
Because
my favorite Pokemon might not be in the game either. You know what? I don't care. I'll find a new one. They're not actual children. Pick a new favorite. It's not that hard.
I'm just saying.
And I also fully believe all of them will be added.
Oh yeah, it's
just not at launch.
No.
Even though they haven't said that.
Maybe not even this game. Maybe the next game they'll have all the Pokemon.
That's possible, but I don't. Nintendo's going a little more in with the DLC stuff, so I could see it just be added over time. Hey, we've added 50 new Pokemon.
Hey, if you want your favorite Pokemon, give us $1. Hey, you want your other favorite Pokemon?
Oh no,
give us another $1.
We definitely want to see that.
You want all your Pokemon? Well, I guess you're forking over $1 for each.
They'll probably do popularity. So like, if your favorite is, I was gonna say Charizard, but we know Charizard's in the game because we've seen him. That actually also angered me that the top guy of the Galar region has a Gen 1 Pokemon
Yep.
You should show off the new things. And he has a Charizard. That really bothered me. All in all, the game looks very good. Gigamaxing.
Dynamaxing.
Whatever. There's rumors that there's also going to be something called Gigamaxing. This is why I got it wrong.
I don't like the idea of it because...
It's basically Z moves.
Well, they're also thinking about just replacing Z moves and getting rid of Mega Forms, I think.
Well, yeah, the last game didn't.
I think they need to stop.
That's what they do every game. Every game is they add a new gimmick.
I know, but they need to stop with gimmicks. Just give me... Like, you can put in a new region, fine. You can add new Pokemon, fine. You can bring back the beauty contest or whatever that was, fine. Just stop.
I have to bring back beauty
Z
contests.
moves. Stop Mega Forms. Stop Dynamaxing. I just want to play Pokemon and not have to worry that the Caterpie I'm fighting is going to turn into Mothra's larvae form and just run me over.
Go full blown with the gimmicks. And I think this is a good way to... I mean, it just makes everything stronger. It's the easiest gimmick to add.
I suppose, yeah. Well, at that point, why even make them bigger?
Because it's cool.
Here's some steroids, Pikachu.
You don't want a giant Wooloo?
Right.
Big old Wooloo taking over the world?
I just want to jump in its fluff.
Have you seen the two new Pokemon they added?
That
weren't in the Direct?
It was like a Corgi and a little imp Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't like either.
The Corgi is Yamper.
Yeah.
And the little imp guy who looks like Baby Devilman is Impadimp.
Yeah, no, I heard Impidimp and I was like, oh, you're not getting
Tell me that's not a Baby Devilman. Impidimp is Baby Devilman, and we might get Devilman in Pokemon.
Jesus.
Because that would be fantastic.
Are we still on Ubisoft, or where are we?
No, we're on Nintendo.
Oh, we're on Nintendo?
We were talking about Pokemon.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild.
Sequel.
Okay. I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
Let's open with that. That was a terrible trailer.
It felt very disjointed, yeah.
It felt like DLC.
Yeah.
Because...
That's originally what I thought. I thought it was more DLC. And I was like, oh, great.
Because what we saw was... We saw some new characters, but you could just do that in DLC.
I don't think those were new characters. I think that was Zelda and Link.
Oh, right. Zelda just has short hair now.
Yeah. We did...
Oh, right. The zombie thing is new.
I saw that and I was like, Ganon's back, baby!
So, we saw the exact same art,
yeah.
Exact same textures,
yeah.
Exact same models.
Oh, you think they're going to let go of Breath of the Wild?
It looks identical, which is not what a sequel should do. A sequel should look better.
Yeah.
And then we zoom out to see the exact same map.
Yeah. No, it's a direct sequel.
That's not how you do a sequel. You don't add new... If they do not change the map, I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Even if... I don't even know if it would be enough for me if they just added a dark world. That wouldn't be enough. You have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
What I saw of that trailer does not get me excited. Now, will I probably be? Yes. Because Breath of the Wild is very good. So if they made another one, it's probably also going to be very good.
The major problem I'm having with Breath of the Wild right now is just the collectathon. And I get it. A lot of old games were kind of collectathon games. Banjo and Kazooie, one of my favorite game series, was a collectathon.
I would say that Breath of the Wild is not a collectathon. There are collectibles.
Have you tried?
But I wouldn't say it's a collectathon.
It's essentially like you're trying to collect all the spheres. You're trying to collect all the seeds. You're trying to collect all the towers. Like, it just...
I would say it's a modern day open world game.
It needs...
Because that's what all of them are.
Okay.
And also Nintendo openly said they don't want you to find all the Korok seeds.
Then
that was never their intention.
Have them in
well,
the
because
game
they want
at all?
because they put in so many, so without trying too hard, you could find enough to get all of the slots unlocked, but without having to actually find all of them.
So are you telling me...
That was their plan.
So are you telling me that if I have all the slots unlocked, I just don't have to collect any more Cockroach seeds?
Yeah. Do you know what you get when you unlock it?
No.
All of them?
No.
Okay, I thought it was common knowledge at this point. They literally give you a pile of shit. I'm not kidding. The guy you talk to, when you hand in all of them, which is like over 900...
Does it make Link stronger?
No, it does nothing. It literally says, you're a loser for doing this.
Then why have that many seeds in the game?
Because I told you, because they want... You need to find X amount to unlock all the slots, right? They didn't want that to be too difficult, because it does take quite a bit.
Yeah.
Probably takes a couple hundred, maybe, to get all the slots.
Yeah.
They didn't want you to find all of those couple hundred. They'd get really monotonous. So they added 3 or 4 times the amount they needed, so you could pretty easily find that many Korok
Because that little
seeds.
Sheikah sensor that goes off, like, every time you're near a statue is getting real annoying. I turned it off, but at the same
Yeah, see, I flat out just don't use that feature at all.
Like, I'll turn it on to be like, oh man, I need some spheres to get some more hearts and stamina. And then I'll forget that I have it on, and then it'll just be like, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, no, I just turn that sensor off. Makes it immediately a better game. But yeah, I was just... Could have just done a better trailer. And also, this is the first Zelda game where they're like... It feels like Nintendo sold out. Every Zelda game is different.
Yeah.
Sort of one thing as much as I kind of like clown on them a lot, it's one thing I've appreciated. Every game... okay, Majora's Mask is kind of samey.
Yeah, I think Majora's Mask... It's because Ocarina of Time did really well, and they're like, okay, we want to copy.
But I guess since... But okay, that was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But since then, we've had... Twilight Princess is kind of samey, too.
No.
Would you say it looks different then?
Yeah.
Okay, so Twilight Princess, different. Actually, I forgot Wind Waker. Wind Waker, different than...
Different even from Twilight Princess.
So we had Majora's Mask, so we'll just say that was like art style 1. Ocarina and Majora's are basically the same thing, because the game was made in like 7 months. Wind Waker, way different.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess, way different. Skyward Sword, way different.
It's not so much... Like, there's still
It's still clearly a different art style.
Yes. But it's...
Breath of the Wild, different from that still.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2, here's the exact same things. We're going to just reuse 90% of the assets.
But, I mean,
It felt like Nintendo kind of...
But, I mean, would that not be the same as Majora's Mask? I mean, Majora's Mask is a critical...
Yeah, but I think higher of Nintendo today than I did then.
Okay.
I know they have the resources and the fan base that are willing to wait an extra year for them to actually make something new.
No. You know as well as I do how crazy Zelda fans are.
Yeah, they'll complain, but you know what? The second it comes out, they'll all buy 7 copies. That's how they work.
I waited 2 years to finally pick it up.
You know what Zelda game looked better? Link's Awakening has me more excited than Breath of the Wild 2. Because that game looks super cute. And I never played Link's Awakening, so that helps. I've played Breath of the Wild, and this just looks like Breath of the Wild again.
Breath of the Wild Electric Boogaloo.
I told someone that, and they'd never heard that before.
Really?
They'd never heard that. That's what you call unnamed sequels, is 2 Electric Boogaloo. They're like, that's what it's called? I was like, no.
Oh, you sweet child. You sweet, dumb child.
And that was E3. Hooray.
I guess.
I wasn't super into it this year.
No, that seems to be the general consensus among people on the internet. That
like, I think everyone
E3...
had a takeaway that they were like, oh, that's super awesome. But it's, as a whole product, was kind of, eh.
Well, I mean, there's even talks now that E3's future might be less than stable.
Well, probably. Nintendo doesn't have to do their Direct on
Yeah.
E3 week.
Yeah.
Sony was out.
I mean, at this point, like, Gamescom is bigger than E3.
Yeah, but that's also because Europeans get shafted for almost everything. So when they open those doors, literally everyone in Europe shows up.
Yeah.
So that's a little unfair. Because we get everything, so...
Yeah.
We being North America, not the Maritimes.
I don't know. It's just, overall, it felt meh.
Yeah, like no one had an amazing show to me. Like Nintendo's was probably the best show, but it still wasn't amazing. I wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
Like even the Banjo reveal, I know people are super excited for that. It's still just Smash DLC. It's not that exciting.
There's a reaction video of them revealing Banjo, and it's at Nintendo New York, I think.
I haven't seen that.
It's just this huge group of people, and it gets to the point where the wings fly open and like the camera shaking and the sounds kind of,
and then the fake out,
and everyone immediately just drops their hands.
Do you know how excited I would have been if they didn't add Banjo to that game? They just did that fake out. Like if that's how they announced the Dragon Quest characters, was they do the Banjo silhouette and then the hero, and then the hero shows up and they don't add Banjo at all. Nintendo, I would go buy a Switch right now if they did that. That would be amazing. Also, by the way, Dragon Quest characters are added to Smash. They all look bad.
I missed that. I didn't.
It's more bland sword characters. Whoopee! Everyone's favorite thing about Smash Brothers.
There was one... What was the one... director of... Or... I can't remember her name.
Use your words.
I don't know. Use your big boy words. I've been saying that a lot to Freya when she starts screaming.
Don't misgender your child like that. Big boy words.
Are you telling a parent what to do?
When have I never told you how to be a parent as someone who doesn't have children? I do that regularly. I did that earlier before we recorded.
Ooh, that was a nightmare. My daughter's gotten to this habit of pushing on the elevator door, like, because it'll ding when it gets to the third level, and she's kind of been like, okay, that's our level. And she'll go push on the door to be like, gotta get the door open. But this time, she pushed with it, and then she kind of went along with the door opening and got like 4 of her fingers stuck in between the wall of the elevator and the door. And I'm just kind of sitting there looking at her going like, there's something wrong. Like it took, because I had just gone down to let my partner and my daughter into the apartment building because they forgot their keys when they went out getting groceries.
Yep.
And I'm just not even thinking. I'm just kind of sitting there trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about when I come to the podcast today. And just completely off in my own world. And I just see my daughter kind of get her finger stuck. The door stops moving, like, completely. And just like, something's wrong. Because it's kind of like half open.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter's fingers are just sitting there going like, huh, that shouldn't be like that. And then full panic mode sets in, and I rip my daughter's hand out.
It's probably also not the way to handle that.
Probably not the...
Like, it probably would have been fine if you were just, like, got some butter.
Yeah, but it just...
Spit on him a little bit.
It was that moment where your adrenaline kicks
No, I
in,
get it. Like, you know.
And you kind of don't realize you're moving as fast as you are, or doing things with as much force as you realize. So I think, like, she started crying a little bit, but she really started crying when I just grabbed her hand and her body and just pulled her away from the door?
Well, yeah, because before she was probably in slight discomfort or more just freaking out because she didn't know what just happened. Might not have been in pain at all. And then you're like, here, I'm going to peel your fingers with an elevator.
Anyway, she's fine. I think. Her hand was a little red. But
well, you put her in the apartment and then came here. You're like, not my problem.
No, I made sure her bones.
I know, you were late for that reason.
Yes.
Not that this is really on like a tight schedule. We're both unemployed.
Yo.
All right. I guess I should talk about some life. The podcast, while we went from recording weekly to bi-weekly to monthly to now it's about every 5 months. This might be the end of them. Unless we do them on Skype or something. Because I am leaving this side of the country completely. Which will make it hard for you to show up to my apartment.
Yup. It's going to make it real difficult.
Actually, on that note, I'll make a more formal announcement when I know exactly what's going to happen. Might be the end of the YouTube channel completely. Because I don't know what... things are going to be a little different. Because I'm moving in with my lady. As you know firsthand, it's hard to stream when there's other people in the house. Because you can't just tell them to be quiet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to...
Well, it's even harder with a daughter. Like, I'm sure if you said, like, hey, can you keep it down for 2 hours? I'm sure you could. But when you get a kid, it's a little...
It's kind of hard. Like, the last time I tried streaming with her, it was during nap time, and I had to kind of keep my voice low the entire time. And Monster Hunter... I can't stream Monster Hunter because I get too into it. If I could find a game where I'm not solely focused on the game, I think that would be fine. But then again, I tend to get invested in just a lot of things.
Yeah.
I can't do two things at once.
Me continuing with also not like I don't even know the last time I streamed this. I feel like I streamed something recently. Oh yeah, it was Dauntless. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, I tried so hard to play that game.
Yeah, you really didn't like it.
No. Well, it didn't help that I don't know if it was my internet connection or if it was just the game itself. But just being in the social hub,
mm-hmm.
I was like skipping frames. The movement doesn't feel good, and the attacking stuff doesn't feel good.
I can agree with that. It's Monster Hunter with less polish.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Because that first monster, that beaver, like, is there no way to track it? You just gotta hope you find it?
Well, from what I've gathered, monsters in a map, so I've been to like 4 different maps. Monsters only spawn, no matter what the monster is in that map, they only spawn in like 4 different spots. So you just go and look at those 4 spots.
See, that's...
They don't really roam the environment. They kind of stay in
And I think that's what I was coming from Monster Hunter going like, okay, I've got to find tracks. I've got to get supplies. I've got to get ore so I can make gear. And then it's just like, where's the monster? Where are the tracks? Where's the dung? Where's the signs of life?
The only thing I'll give Dauntless over Monster Hunter is, while rare, there is one type of hit that feels real good that you can't really do in Monster Hunter. Just because the Monster Hunter monsters are much larger than the Dauntless ones. They're a little smaller. There's like these charge attacks, and if you hit them during a charge attack, which the community has got to call boopin', which is a great name. So if they're charging and you hit them while in their mid-charge, they will like, you'll kind of like stagger out of the way and they'll fall over and like...
You can do that in Monster Hunter.
Not really.
Not
Not the same way.
Not the same way, but I mean, if something is charging you, you can potentially stun it, knocking it over.
To me, this felt better than the way Monster Hunter does it.
Okay.
And it comes down to just size. Because Monster Hunter, you are kind of stunning it, because it's just...
Well, no.
They're big boys.
Because I have had instances where something's charging me, and then I'll hit it as it's charging me, and it'll just flip its shit.
Yeah, it has done that.
Yeah.
Alright, so, let me reword that statement. There's one thing Dauntless does that is on par with Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Because it feels very good when that happens.
Yeah, it feels amazing when you push when you push some of those monsters shit back in.
But the 95% of combat where you're hitting an invisible hitbox, because your weapons don't really, they just don't feel like they're hitting anything.
Yeah, like that. Like I had the big sword, and I was like, why do I feel like I'm hitting this monster with a cardboard tube?
Swinging at air and hitting something feels identical, which is not good. But I'll probably still pick up the game so I can constantly keep not going back to Monster Hunter. I don't know how much I'll go back to it. I was playing Borderlands.
Yeah.
Because I've had a real itch to play that type of game.
Oh, the looter shooter, yes.
Yeah, Schluter.
Yeah. No, I can't play that game at all.
I was a big fan of Borderlands 1 and 2. I say big fan, but I couldn't tell you anything about the plot. I like first-person shooters, and I've got a real soft spot for damage numbers. I just really like that.
Yeah.
There's not a mod. There's an item in Binding of Isaac that is mostly useless, but it adds damage numbers to the game. I pick that up every damn time because it's great. I'm playing Borderlands the pre-sequel.
Okay.
So I can scratch that itch so I can not buy Borderlands 3. I don't know if it's because this is considered the weakest Borderlands game, or maybe I just have fonder memories of the games than their actual quality. Would be my opinion. I've gotten out of my system. Now I'm playing .hack.
.hack GU?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you actually got the remake of it? Shit.
Because I actually bought it months ago.
I was gonna say, because I remember hearing about it and we were both like, oh man, .hack GU. And then it came out, and then a week later we're like, hey, that game came out. And it was like, oh, yeah, so it totally did.
Yeah, I probably bought it last year. But I just kept playing other things. Because ultimately, I have played them all, so I was prioritizing new things.
Yeah.
But I'm out of new things, so going back to .hack.
Yeah, no, shit. I'd completely forgotten, but I find it weird that they re-released GU instead of going back. And
I think because GU is way more popular than Quarantine or whatever that series was called. I think the fourth one was called Quarantine. Or third one.
There was 4 of them.
But yeah, I don't think that series took off real big.
Which is weird considering we have a bunch of anime currently and past anime from previous seasons where it's like, oh no, we're trapped in the video game.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
.hack was the isekai genre was its foundation is Escaflowne, .hack, just all these old, and then you got Sword Art Online.
What's the database?
Database.
The theme song was living in the database. Came out right after Sword Art Online.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about.
I think it was heavy on the fan service or something, so I never checked it out.
It was like Sword Art Online without any of the consequences. Because if you died in the game, you just respawned. Whereas in Sword Art Online, if you died in Sword Art Online, the neural uplinker would start radiating microwaves and just microwave your brain.
Log Horizon.
I remember Rip Total Biscuit saying he loved Log Horizon because it felt more like an MMO because people were using MMO terms. And I'm like, Total Biscuit, I love you. I really, truly do. But you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, it's cool.
And, like, I hear Log Horizon is done a lot better than Sword Art Online, but at the time I was like, oh no, Sword Art Online is much better because there are consequences.
I like Sword Art. But no, it's kind of cool. To anyone who hasn't played Dot Hack GU Rebirth Volume 1, which is a terrible title. Actually, it might go Volume 1 Rebirth.
I was gonna say, Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no, those are also terrible titles.
Terrible titles down pat. I don't think anyone can really match that.
But it's kind of cool because the game has like to anyone who hasn't played this.
They still have
kind of obscure PS2 RPG because it wasn't like a huge hit.
No,
it's popular enough to get 3 of them.
Yeah,
but it wasn't huge.
Was it 3 or was it 4?
There's 3, but this new one adds a 4th one.
Okay,
and I don't know how big it is, but there's a 4th one. You have your tutorial, and then there's a huge time skip, and that time skip is just its own anime.
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dot Hack Roots.
Yeah, I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
you don't have to watch it. Anything you need to know is like pretty well summarized.
Yeah, but I mean, you get the nuances. Like I would love to go back and watch Dot Hack Sign, and then Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight Bracelet. I have the manga.
There's a few things that don't quite add up. Like, one of the big bad guys is. I'll say the spoiler-free version. There's a bad guy named Tri-Edge who is Kites from the original Dot Hack series.
Yeah.
You don't really get why it's intriguing that he's the villain if you don't know who Kites is.
Yeah.
Ovan is super mysterious, and he doesn't get a lot of screen time in the game because he's more in the anime.
Yeah.
I might actually watch the anime because I never actually have. I know everything that happens. I just read like a summary.
I mean, it's a little weak.
Probably. Well, honestly, the games are a little weak too.
Yeah.
They're just fun, I guess.
Yeah. But there's a lot of material in the Dot Hack universe.
Yeah. Well, there's 8 games.
There's 8 games. There's
couple animes, movies,
light novels, manga. Like, just the amount of just media is insane, and it's a shame that it barely kind of shows anymore. What's that?
There was a 5th of the original series of Dot Hack?
A 5th?
Yeah. I must look this up.
I know there were... I know... I own the first 2. They're somewhere in a box. I bought them at Gamezilla in St. John when I had much more disposable income.
There's infection.
Yes.
Mutation. Outbreak. Quarantine.
Yes. But there's a 5th one.
Apparently there's also one called Fragment.
Is that might just be the manga though.
Oh. Wait. Oh no. Dot Hack Fragment. Okay, so it never came to the West, which is why we never heard of it. Dot Hack Fragment, a remake of the series with online capabilities.
Huh.
Which coming out in 2005 would have been pretty rough online.
Yeah.
But neat.
Well, I mean, World of Warcraft came out in 2006. 2005, 2006?
2004.
2004. Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe not.
And I mean...
Well, this also would have been a PS2 game, not a PC game.
Yeah, but I mean, the Japanese have been kind of ahead of us when it comes to online MMOs.
True. It's weird that there hasn't been a Dot Hack MMO.
Yeah.
Given that the games are an MMO without being online.
I think there might have been. They just never came out of Japan.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Because as much as I hate to say it, Dot Hack was never really a popular series. It was kind of more of a niche, kind of very few people liked it. And those that did like it loved it.
Yeah, I guess a cult classic.
Yes.
Is kind of where you'd put it. It's like not everyone knows about it, but the people who do almost all like it.
Yeah.
To anyone who doesn't know, it's like you play as a real person playing a video game.
Playing a video game.
Because you have to, we don't have to, but like you have to like check your emails and like stay in touch with people and check the news. Because that's how you get all your world building.
And
you can go to the game's equivalent of like DeviantArt to download like new desktop wallpapers.
You can go to like game forums and learn
tips about the games of like, oh, I couldn't find this thing. Oh, it's here. Unlocks a new place for you to go to. It's neat.
Yeah. It's a nice little self-contained world. And then on top of that, you get like news feeds from what's happening in that world. And there was some dark stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Also, because it's not really a spoiler, it's added. You're told about it within like the first hour of the first game. Not being familiar with JoJo when I first played Dot Hack, avatars are just stands. Because only Avatar users can see Avatar.
Yeah. That's another...
So yeah, if you want a fantasy JRPG with stands...
That's not a JoJo. Where you play where you're playing a person playing a video game.
It does bring like gaming waifus to a new level, because if you've got a character you really like, you can find their email address and email them, quote unquote, in real life and get to know the player who's playing the character. Is deep.
And then you can marry that character.
Yeah, you can marry people.
There was marriage in that, and I'm sitting there going like, what is going on? I don't know. It's a weird cultural thing that happens over on that side of the planet where you can marry your in-game characters to each other.
I don't think it was real marriage, though.
I think there was like...
I played games with marriage in them. I played an MMO where my character got married.
Oh?
Yeah.
Did you get anything for it? Like a stat boost?
I think you got a boost when you're in a party with that character.
Yeah.
Been a long time since I played Eden Eternal.
Because, I mean, on the one hand, it's a great way to get a stat boost. Maybe it's not a big stat push, but I mean, when you get up into high-end rating in World of Warcraft, any increase in stats you can get.
Any boost is better than no boost.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, like when we were rating, it was just like we gotta time our potions perfectly. We gotta just everything has to be done perfectly, and I just got burnt out so fast.
Yeah, you ever think it'll die?
The only way World of Warcraft will die is if Blizzard does it themselves. Which, after the past couple days, months, weeks, there have been a lot of since February, shit's been going downhill for Activision Blizzard, particularly Blizzard. There's been layoffs. I don't know if it's been on the Blizzard side, but
probably.
I think the last time I heard, their morale is down and people are leaving.
I don't think they'll run themselves into the ground.
And all I can think is, this is what you get for supporting a underdeveloped esports scene. Because
you talking about the Heroes of the Storm?
Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch League.
No, that's pretty well developed, I think.
But they're not.
Heroes of the Storm is the bigger problem.
I think I see Overwatch League not lasting too much longer. Because,
No, it'll be fine, because they announced Overwatch 2.
Yeah, and that'll give it another shot to the arm,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not going to stop the eventual death. No, I think Blizzard is done being the critical darling it once was, and it is now fully under the control of Activision.
Yeah.
I think Activision has finally got its claws deep into Blizzard, and
I mean, I honestly, I don't even know anything. Well, I can name a bunch of stuff that they've made, but I don't know if they've made anything I've ever cared about. I guess other than like a 6-month period of me being pretty into Overwatch, but
yeah,
definitely don't care anymore.
I mean, Overwatch is a fun game. I love the characters. I love the lore, the lack thereof. But gameplay-wise, it's not something I'm gonna sit down every day and play.
No.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind. You know what I'd like? Give me Overwatch, but make it Agents of Mayhem. Give me cast.
because that game did real good.
Well, no, but it could have been done. It's not a bad idea. It was just executed poorly. You give it the polish and the time it needs, and you give the Overwatch the organization.
Yeah.
You have a cast of all these fun, colorful characters, and you pick 3 of them. You go out and do a mission, and because it's the way things are, you can play online with up to 2 other friends, so the 3 of you can each control a character.
Yeah.
But otherwise, these 3 characters, and you can always pick any 3 you want. Go out, and you just go do fun missions, PvE stuff. You can switch playable character on the fly if you're not playing online. If you're playing online, obviously you're locked into the character you picked.
Yeah.
That would be super fun to me, because Overwatch has got cool characters.
Yeah.
In a cool world, they just don't do anything with it.
Yeah. No, and I mean, with the inception of their workshop, where it's like, hey, players, make shit for yourselves.
It feels really weird to be like, yo, Activision Blizzard, look at this studio look at this game that hard failed, and do that.
Yeah. There's been a bug.
I could tell by your eyes that there's a bug. It's probably an ant.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed an ant or 2 in the last few days. I don't care. I'm moving in 10 days. It's not my problem.
Oh, no, there's 2 ants.
That's fine. Again, not my problem. Has already been sold to someone else.
You slob. Leaving food out.
There's no food out. It's an empty glass of water.
Okay, it's probably someone else in the building.
Probably.
Or it's just an old building and...
Yeah, look at this place.
Could catch...
It's very old.
Probably asbestos in the walls.
Probably. You know, I found out apparently that's not actually a bad thing. Apparently asbestos is totally harmless. News to me. It's only bad if you touch it.
Or breathe it.
Yes, but you can't breathe it unless you disturb it. Apparently just being in the walls is totally harmless. Just the issue comes in if you're going to do home reno.
Yeah.
Then it's a big problem.
Yeah.
I watched, over the course of 5 days, maybe 24 hours of HGTV and home reno shows.
Why would you do that to yourself?
And then I proceeded to watch 15 hours of Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town. That's why I'm not excited about E3.
Oh wait,
The best game I've played this week is a Game Boy Advance game.
We missed Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I don't care about Animal Crossing.
But Animal Crossing's coming. March 20th, 2020.
Good for those people who like it. It's not for me.
Only the game people have been waiting for.
Actually, that one looked like it might pique my interest. The only thing that hard turns me off is the real world time.
Yeah.
That's a hard turn off for me.
Yeah. Not being in debt to a raccoon.
That part doesn't bother me.
Jesus.
But yeah. Animal Crossing.
We already mentioned Astral.
Nope. Well, I guess kind of. I skipped over a lot. I wasn't going to name literally everything that was announced.
Who? She came out and presented, and everyone is like, oh my god, she's amazing. Can she just replace every presenter?
Oh, she's the girl who presented Tokyo Ghostwire.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Is she the director, or... She's...
No, she's like...
Is she the creator of...
She created Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, yes, okay.
But she didn't create the game, she created the character.
Yeah.
I don't know what she is, because the director is Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
I don't know what position she is. It's very high, because apparently they work together a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe creative director, not like actual director. Maybe that's her position.
Okay.
She was sweet.
Yeah.
She's probably... Well, the four horsemen of E3 are
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, the dog. I don't know if you saw the
dog.
Yeah, there was a dog on stage.
Oh.
When John Bernthal came out to talk about Ghost Recon, he brought a dog. I'm not really sure why. People like dogs, so dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, her, the dog, Keanu, and I don't remember the fourth one was. So I'll just say 3.
Well, that's not the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Nope, sure isn't. I just don't remember who the fourth one was. I don't remember anyone else being like a standout.
Yeah.
Doug Bowser.
Doug Bowser. God, did he have his name legally changed to Bowser?
No.
Or that
It's just a wild coincidence that he works at Nintendo.
Doug Bowser works for Nintendo.
I'm sure he thought it was funny.
What an age we live in.
It's actually possible he, before getting the job, didn't know who Bowser was. Or not his current job. I'm sure, like, being the head of Nintendo North America, I'm sure he knew who Bowser was. But, like, when he first started working at Nintendo, it's possible.
You're working for Nintendo. You know who Bowser is.
A lot of people who run the business side of gaming, they don't care about games because they just care about the business. Which is probably how you properly run a business.
I guess.
To not care about the game part. So, originally, I had asked you here for...
some, questions?
For a specific reason. And I'm kind of thinking just either not doing it at all or just doing it another time.
Okay.
Because this has already been a little shy of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And there's here, let me find a question, sir. There's 70 of them.
Let's just do a taste test. Just a quick little...
To the first few.
Yeah.
So they're all gaming questions, and I guess that's kind of why I originally wanted it to be its own thing. It doesn't really fit the podcast format.
Yeah.
It's something I found on Tumblr months ago. Yeah, I have a Tumblr. I have 2, actually. Actually, I have 3. Yeah.
I just got 1.
I have 3.
I just recently got 1, and I was like, I don't know why I use this.
I just like browsing memes.
I mean, I follow Brandon.
Do I?
That feels like a mistake some days.
The types of questions, I'll just dance around. I'll ask random questions.
Okay.
Like, what is your most regrettable purchase?
Gaming wise?
Yeah. These are gaming questions.
Demon Souls Collector's Edition.
You regret buying that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because at the time I hated it.
I guess.
I didn't understand what the game was. I bought the Collector's Edition. I think I just gave the whole thing away to GameStop and just washed my hands of it.
Mine's X-Blades.
X-Blades. Yeah.
Which, if you're familiar with the box art of X-Blades, you can figure out pretty easily why I bought it. Yeah, get them anime girls.
Got them anime girl titty.
Something I would not touch with a 10-foot pole today, but at the time, I was the right age.
Prototype?
Prototype's a video game, yeah.
Was that one where you kind of morph into like a serial killer? That was also another game I regret buying. I didn't like that. And the first Infamous. I didn't like that game either. But that was all back when I had disposable income and was just buying like 3 games whenever one came out.
Ever lose a friend over a game? I'll answer yes. Pokemon Yellow. Someone stole my copy. That definitely made me not want to talk to them again.
My brother threw an N60. Does kind of thinking your family's dead to you count as losing a friend?
No.
Okay. Because the only thing that's come close gaming wise would be when my brother did, like, I had a Pokemon Silver and he was very young at the time and it wasn't working for him for some reason. I don't remember why. So he grabs the cartridge and proceeds to blow into it, but doesn't so much blow because he's fairly young, just spits all in it. The game is unplayable. I couldn't get it.
I mean, that's normal sibling shenanigans.
So angry, and I have been angry at him up until very recently, actually.
And then game that you begged your parents for as a kid.
Pokemon Silver.
Okay, mine is Final Fantasy X-2.
I begged my parents for Pokemon Silver. Is the only game I have ever begged for.
I think I'm in the same boat, but so I guess like slight background. I legitimately like Final Fantasy X-2. I know it gets a bad rep. Yeah. I think mostly undeservedly.
I mean, that intro scene with the Rammstein song was,
but
like way out in left field. I love that.
That was also my the deal at the time was. You know what? No, I guess I technically didn't beg for that game. I just really wanted it. Because I made a deal with my parents, because I would have been pretty young at the time, that if I could save up $80, which would be enough to buy a game, my parents would buy a PS2. It's a pretty fair trade.
I guess.
Well, I should say, they wouldn't just buy it for me. They would get it for me and my brother for Christmas that year, if I could prove responsible enough to save up for a game.
God, $80 hardly seems like anything anymore.
Well, I mean, games aren't that much more. They're, what, 90?
It's almost $90 to buy a game.
They're 92 with tax.
And then another 5% on top of that coming?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Choo choo, here comes the $100 games in Canada. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a full price game. It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nintendo games are always full price.
Yep, that's true.
Because
they sure are.
God damn it, Reggie.
Yeah. I don't really feel like doing all those questions right now.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'll end up just doing it myself like I was going to originally. Because I still want to go through them. But
70 questions is a lot, and we've already been sitting here for a while.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Plus the 30 minutes I was trying to get it to work.
Yeah.
It's been a good chunk of time.
It's not a podcast if I don't feel like I need to dump ass afterwards.
Of course. Is there anything you want to plug? Not that you do literally anything.
No.
What about that photography? Is still doing that? Trying to make big in the photog world?
It's honestly just to keep my eye for shots.
Trying to make big in the photog world?
No. I like
black and white lawn chairs?
I could honestly care less if anyone wants to. I've gotten to. Okay, I shouldn't say that because I got to this weird point where I was like at 48 followers, and I was like, can I break 50? And I've been trying to break 50 for months now. And then at one point I had 52, and I was so happy. And then I lost 4 followers, and for 2 days I was actually visibly upset that I lost 4 followers, and I'm like, what is wrong? Like, it was like conflicting emotions because at one point I was like, I lost 52 followers, I lost 4 followers, I'm worthless. And then another part of me is like, you're dumb. Get over yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever taken a gander at how many subscribers this YouTube channel has, Duncan. It's less than that.
Still, I never thought I could have that emotion where I'm worried about followers, and then to have that feeling.
Oh, I have a legitimate social media problem. Where it's like, you wouldn't see it on Twitter. I kind of treat Twitter like a diary that I get like the satisfaction of like it's out in the world. I quote told someone, but it's kind of keeping it to myself because I don't really have that many followers, and frankly I don't know if I want to, because I sort of treat it like a diary, basically, of just putting out thoughts where we are friends on the Facebook. I never post because I have a legitimate problem of like how many people liked it.
Did my parents like it?
Did enough people like it? And then, like, I'll post something. Like, normal people will post and just walk away.
About it, yeah.
Yeah, my next hour is just staring at it, being like, how many notifications am I going to get? It's a problem. So I don't post at all, because I recognize it's a problem.
Ooh. This one's kind of going downhill.
And I knew it came back, because I for the first time in months, made a post yesterday.
Yeah. I looked at it.
And not enough people.
I hadn't clicked on it.
And no one liked it. And ate me alive.
I saw that Mike Piscucci had
Yep.
comment.
Now I will say, I do legitimately think there's some algorithm tomfoolery.
There's some tomfoolery because there are times where I'll see a post and I'll want to read it, and then it'll just disappear.
For me, it's like everyone has like that one family member or that one friend who just likes everything you do.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
No.
They always. Well, I do anyway. I have one aunt in particular.
Yeah.
Everything on her feed, she just likes everything.
Yeah.
And she didn't like it, which doesn't tell me that no one liked it. I don't think anyone saw it. I just don't think the post showed up for 80+% of the people.
Oh, are we going into Facebook conspiracy theories?
Well, no, because it's not like it was a hit piece on Facebook. I just think they're probably tweaking their algorithms right now. And right now, because I never post anything, I get probably very quickly buried in people who post things regularly. So I think the post just was legitimately lost. I'm not upset about it or anything. I didn't post something on Facebook.
For the first time.
But that is what I'll plug, is don't go to my Facebook, because that's weird. Go to my Twitter, because that's public, because I posted it there too. I did a little animation, because that's what I do for a living, is animate. I'm toot my own horn. I'm pretty alright at it. Also, Django Unchained is a fantastic movie. Everyone should watch it.
I tried animating last night.
You can't.
It was rough.
Probably. You've also been unemployed longer than I have.
I've been so spoiled by DHX and all the scripts we had and all the...
Oh, so all of that stuff is way above my knowledge. I don't remotely understand about it, and I frankly don't care to know about it because it's not really part of our job. I literally just paid someone to come over and was like, put a bunch of scripts on my computer. By paid, I mean I just bought them dinner, but still. Counts as payment.
Yeah.
It's great. Now, if only my computer could run more than 4 frames a second.
Yeah. No, because trying to figure out how to make mouth shapes and how to make syllables, that was a rough time last night. I thought I was going to go back to drinking.
I mean, you can always go back to drinking. It's like that friend that never leaves you.
Not when there's a whiskey bottle in the...
I had someone ask me that. It was probably a couple weeks ago now. It somehow came out there like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just sitting here with a drink. And they're like, why didn't you invite anyone if you're having a drink? I was like, because I can't drink alone with company.
Yeah.
It's kind of the point.
Because I want to sit down and enjoy a beverage by myself.
Yeah. Just wind down. Just wind down with beer.
I don't want other people coming along being like, la la la, so and so said this. My life is shit.
And I mean, ultimately, like, you know what, world? There's the lesson to take out of the episode, despite not talking about anything moral or life related. You just gotta save time for yourself.
Yeah,
it's important.
I'm sorry you wanted to drink with me. I don't want to associate with anyone when I'm drinking.
Exactly.
I just want to be able to sit down, have a drink, watch some weeb shit, and end it. You gonna end it?
No, first I have to say, you're sowing the seeds of being a bad father.